A major moment in television history just played out on one of television's most watched comedy series. More than 10 million people tuned in to ABC's Modern Family to watch Mitch and Cam exchange vows.
Cameron, do you take Mitchell to be your husband?
I do.
Cameron, would you please place this ring on Mitchell's finger? Mitchell, do you take Cameron to be your husband?
I do.
Then by the powers vested in me by the state of California, I am privileged to pronounce you spouses for life. You may now kiss your husband.
A major step forward in the marriage equality movement, and one of the gentlemen part of that scene there, Eric Stonestreet, is in the studio with us today. Eric, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Right out from the bat, ABC, of course, owned by the parent company of Disney, and this was a historic episode. The show, obviously gangbusters, but this episode in particular.
Yeah, it was a meaningful episode for us, for the show, for the arc of Mitch and Cam and Modern Family, but it was an important episode for so many viewers. We realized that going in, and we knew that it was going to have the proper amount of importance in the movement of marriage equality. We certainly aren't there to change people's minds. We're there to make people laugh, but we realize we get the opportunity to open people's hearts and minds to the idea.
Well, one of the things is that the creators and the writers have always said that they didn't want the show to be a political show, and yet at the same time, you really have taken on a lot of serious issues.
Yeah, well, I think that's what good family comedies do, because that's real life family dynamic. Is the issues pop up in families and in our lives every day where we're faced to make a decision of how we feel one way or another. And obviously, Modern Family with Mitch and Cam, we're going to be on the side of allowing Mitch and Cam to get married. And once Prop 8 was overturned in California, it really paved the way for us to tell the episode and tell the story that we wanted to tell for Mitch and Cam.
So take me behind the scenes then when you were shooting that scene, because obviously everyone gets emotional at weddings.
Yeah.
But it really was. If you look at the setting and you think about the story between Mitch and Cam and really all of the families of how they've all rallied around. When was there some tears behind the cameras?
We had shot all that day doing some of the things leading up to it. We don't shoot in order, so we had done some of the wedding reception stuff, and we knew we wanted to shoot at last light there, that scene. So when we finally got to the place where we were able to block the scene for cameras and everybody in crew, Jesse and I walked down the aisle together, and we both were wearing our sunglasses, and took our sunglasses off, and we were both just welled up and with tears, because it's not just about Mitch and Cam in that moment. It's about Jesse and I. We're the actors that get the opportunity to bring those two guys to life, and it's a great moment for he and I as actors. You get jobs, you never realize that you're going to have a job with cultural importance and an impact in people's lives, personal lives. And so we knew it meant something for the characters, but it meant something for Jesse and I too.
I know you get this question a lot, but I want to ask you then, in particular, after this episode had aired and has made so many headlines and obviously broke a lot of records with viewership as well, have you ever been concerned about being pigeonholed, though?
As an actor?
Yeah, as typecast?
No, I've never really thought about it, and if that happens, then, I will have gotten to play, I think, one of the greatest characters in TV history and on one of the greatest shows, so that's up to other people. I know what kind of actor I am. I know what I do. I know what I did before Modern Family. I know some of the roles that I've done while I've been on Modern Family, and it's really up to me, my agents, and my representation to educate casting directors, producers, directors, audience members that Cam happens to be a character that I love to play, but is just one character that I play.
I got to say, on behalf of millions of gay and lesbian women in the United States, I am very happy and very appreciative of what you have done to raise awareness and to raise tolerance and the discussion in this country about that. I think you've probably moved the needle more than maybe what you realize.
Well, that may be true. It may not be true. I remember one of my old managers, who's now in Atlanta doing business there. He's like, "You're going to be in history books someday," and I'm like, "Oh, come on, man! I doubt that." Literally, the next week, I get home and I get a request from my publicist. A professor's writing a book in sociology on marriage equality and wants to put Mitch and Cam in the book. I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess you predicted something." But
so forget having the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This is a little. That's a little.
What it really is, honestly, I can tell you is the personal impact that I've been able to see with people's lives. When kids come up to me and say, you made it easier to come out to my mom and dad because of Mitch and Cam, and when parents come up to Jesse and I and say, I was able to accept my son or my daughter more because of the relationship portrayed on Modern Family by Mitch and Cam. Those are like really, really meaningful, emotional conversations I get to have with people, and that's truly the best honor of my job.
Well, it's the benefit that we all get to take part of. At the same time, you're kind of a jerk.
Yeah, totally.
And here's the reason why I'm going to bring this up, because you are like the king of vines, and I want to play a couple of these vines that you put out there. You know, everyone thinks Eric Stonestreet, what a great guy. All right, here's one of the vines that we have. I want to play up there, and this is, you know, just a little self-contained video that you just happened to, you know, shoot for yourself.
Yeah.
This first one, this is with your mother.
Yeah.
Take a look at this.
All right, Mom. Well, it's been good having you here the last few days. Travel safe.
Well, I had a really good time.
Shut him up.
Well, I mean,
She's got to be a good sport to be able to have you as a son.
My mom and dad are great sports, but you know, I think that really sums up how we all feel about when our parents come to visit. We're very happy for them to come and then,
drop off the tuna casserole, and we'll see you
and
later.
out they go. You know, but no, they're great. I try to highlight my mom and dad as much as I can because they made it all possible, and I enjoy the fact that they get a little attention on my vines and my social media every once in a while.
Well, speaking of another Disney connection, take a look at this one.
Oh no.
Hey, I'm at Disneyland and I'm going to do something I've always wanted to do.
What a jerk.
I know. Unbelievable. You know what? People saw that the first thing we were like, how did you get scissors in Disneyland? That is...
The logistics, that's like the obvious
Yeah,
question,
that's the first question.
Right?
That is my best friend's daughter, Ellison.
Okay.
And I just set that up for fun because it's true. You see, you always want to snip balloons up.
The happiest place on earth, just tainted by Eric Stonestreet.
Yeah. Well, that's how I keep myself from getting typecast.
Right, and keep the head from getting too big. And then this one, when you took a trip to Washington, D.C.
Okay, I'm here at the National Mall and I got to tell you, there's not one shop. Worst mall ever.
With the Capitol in the background.
like that
You're
you
expecting
found that
the
one.
Pottery Barn to be popping up or sur la table alongside
I
the
wanted an Orange
Smithsonian.
Julius. There was nothing there to get.
All right, so now you've teamed up with NextGuard because
Yeah.
this is a cause that's very important to you, because I know that you have a rescue dog.
Yeah, I rescued my dog Coleman 13 years ago, almost 13 years ago. And every time I get the opportunity to work with a good company that has something to say about your dog's health, I'm always interested and anxious to do that. And in this case, Marielle, the maker of NextGuard, has a great challenge for people out there watching that they want to challenge you to go and take a 20-minute walk with your dog and unite with all of us against the enemy that is fleas and ticks.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Which is
Macy, come here.
Yeah, here's
Now look at this little
one of the
Macy.
benefits of the attention of Broadway. This is Macy, right?
Yes, this is Macy. Macy's just as recognizable as you and I. She was on Broadway in Annie, but she's a rescue dog. She was found in Oklahoma and now has a great home and is great. But the idea is people go to the website 1millionstepsfordogs.com. They commit on the website to taking a 20-minute walk, and as soon as we get 1 million steps of people on behalf of the dogs, NextGuard is going to donate up to $1 million worth of product to selected shelters across the country. So you really get your chance to help out dogs. Not only dogs that don't necessarily have a home right now. So it's a great cause. And I'm happy to help out.
I mean, dog's best friend. I mean, it's like at the end of a long day of shooting, I mean, just to go home and see the tail wagging and get that kind of reception, right? Nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. I love my dog Coleman so much, and you're right. I put a lot of him on my Instagram because he's a massive part of my life. He's been with me from the beginning. You know, I got him in right before 2001, and he's seen my career go from where it was to where it is now. And I always told him when I would go on auditions, big ones, I'd say, well, buddy, I'm just going to try to get you a bigger yard. So I got him a good yard now.
Luckiest dog around.
Yeah.
Macy, thank you so much. Eric Stonestreet, thank you so much. Continued
Appreciate
success.
it. Macy, can you shake? Up. Okay.
Take care. Right on cue.
Yep.
Right, Eric, thanks so much.
Thanks.